This is easily one of the strangest string of events to ever happen in one day that would ultimately mean nothing. So me and my friends really like to go floating. If you don't know what floating is, it's hopping in a life jacket, hopping in a river, and you float. You can hop on a sandbar, you can stop. It's a lot of fun. So me and my friends, we drove early in the morning, and one of the first strange thing that happened was our friend's car died. It just died. Not the battery, but the entire thing stopped working. We tried to hijack it, nothing worked. So his parents came and dropped off their red SUV. That's important. Remember that for later. So we went floating. The entire day was great. We had a lot of fun, but we were tired. We were suffering from heat exhaustion. The heat was beating down on us the entire day. We were ready for the day to be over. We were all together at the night, and our friend was like, I'm gonna head out. The one who was driving the red SUV. We're like, all right, have a good night. And he left. And about 15 minutes later, he called us, and he said, guys, I just got stopped by the cops. They asked where I was going, where I was coming from, and the entire highway shut down. Immediately, our heat-exhausted, tired minds jumped to a new level of insanity, and we were instantly thinking of the worst possible thing happened. Possible car accident. We had no idea, but we were like, let's go check it out. So we drive there, and we find out the entire highway is blocked off. There's cops lining the entire 4 lanes of traffic, and we have to get sent into a detour. So what we did was drive parallel to the highway through a neighborhood, hop out of the car, sprint through a field, and sit by the highway and see if we could find what was happening. Nothing. It was pitch black. It was a dark highway of nothing. But what we saw off in the distance was that where the intersection opened up, and there were huge trucks, huge yellow trucks, yellow lights flashing yellow. We didn't know what was going on. So we looked up on the news, and we found out that an 80-year-old man suffering from schizophrenia has been missing, and he drives a red SUV. So instantly, we're like, that's why our friend was stopped. But then we're thinking, why would he be stopped there? Is he possibly in the area? So easily, our minds go even more insane, and we're thinking that this old man is lost on the highway, because in the report it was labeled that he could be potentially dangerous, as he was sick. He wasn't right in the head. So we weren't right in the head either, because we were so tired, and we were easily thinking of the worst possible thing to happen. So we sit there, our backs are turned, and all of a sudden, traffic starts. Yellow car lights are suddenly zooming by. Everything's lit up, and we're like, what? Out of nowhere. So we're like, go, go, go. We get in the car, and we drive down to the intersection we were stopped at, and up down the road was a huge barn with cops surrounding it, lit up with flashing red and blue. And we start freaking out. We didn't know what was up. We instantly thought that this old man who was lost in the area was in this barn. An old man that was potentially dangerous. We didn't know what was up. We start freaking out. We drive back and forth, just to look, just to see what was going on down the road. And we notice that the barn is moving. The barn is moving farther away from us. And our tired minds start freaking out even more. And we're like, why is this barn moving? Then we realize the road is a real road that cars drive on. It's not a dirt road leading up to a house. It's a busy road. And a barn was on it? We're freaking out more, and we drive all the way around where we think this barn would be at the end, and there are big yellow trucks, construction trucks, men cutting down power lines. It looked like a Stranger Things episode, and our minds were going more insane. We were thinking that this old man was in the barn. We were thinking that some Stranger Things government-type conspiracy was happening, and that a barn appeared out of nowhere, dropped on the road. We were freaking out. We didn't know what was going on. We go back one more time before the night ended, just to see what was going on. Right on the intersection of where this barn was traveling was a huge flatbed truck with a huge old torn down barn. A barn that was falling apart. And we woke up the next day to realize that if you're from the Omaha area, you'll understand this. But Val's Pumpkin Patch recently bought a super old barn, And it turns out that they shut down the entire 4 lanes of traffic on the highway to move this barn over to their property. We woke up the next day dumbfounded and realized that everything throughout the day was a huge coincidence, all leading up to ultimately nothing. Our tired brains, our heat exhausted brains were so tired, and it meant nothing. So next time you are just tired, 2 a.m., just go to bed. Don't overthink it.